Well, good evening, Oasis Family Church. Great that you guys could join us on our midweek madness slot. And tonight we have got a special time. I want you to introduce you to our staff at Oasis Family Church, the guys that work behind the scenes that you guys probably haven't met or don't know. And if you have, you'll know they're an awesome bunch of people. Obviously, I chose them, which makes them awesome. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention a few things quickly regarding our Sunday services. As you know, as of Sunday the 28th, we'll be having two services. So we'll be having an 8:30 service and a 10:30 service. Our live streaming will still continue on YouTube and on our Facebook Live at 9 o'clock. So you're not going to miss out on that. But what you need to do is there's two things. One, there's a number that's going to be on the screen. You have to WhatsApp your name to that number. That is our booking center. The link that we send you to complete afterwards is basically our database, which means that every time you book, you don't have to complete the form. So if you WhatsApp the number, Chantelle's got the phone. If you WhatsApp the number and say, Kurt Sutton +2, Shantelle will then send you a form and you will just fill in the form. If you filled in the form, which means you're on the database, which means that we got all your details. So when you rock up here, all we do is we measure your temperature and you sign, and that's done. But your booking has to be done on the WhatsApp number. Even if you fill in the form, the booking has to be done through the WhatsApp number. Very importantly. All right, great stuff. Well, let's introduce it. This is Catherine Purden and Amy Faith van Aswierden. We got used to that. And Nicola Wood and Brandon Park, and you all know Shantelle Sutton. And this is the staff that helps us around the church. And I thought it would really be great to introduce you to the guys. I think when you guys all went into lockdown and chill, this crowd had to start working all of a sudden, very unexpectedly, because I think everything went online. But just a little bit of introduction, background. Catherine, you come out of a printing background, not printing, but your position before.
I was a PA at a printing company for about 13 years, and then I moved over here. Next month I've been here for 9 years.
9 years, that's right. Amy, we know all about you. You've done your studies, and now you're the media lady. Nicola, you've been with us for quite a while now. You head up Mideek, the heads of our Sunday school, or our kids' church. Before, you were a teacher as well.
Yes, I used to teach at a preschool, yeah.
Preschool?
And prior to that, I was in business.
In business?
In my own business, yeah.
Okay, so you guys are quite active. Brandon Park, you've always taught.
Pretty much from one thing to the next thing.
You've always taught. You've been teaching now for how many years have you guys been going?
We've been going for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there since I left school, so what's that, 12 years now?
12 years you've been teaching.
Yeah.
More
admin, but yeah, I do deal with kids all day long.
Okay. And then Shantelle, before your life changed when you met me, what did you
Freedom and all that.
Before ministry, I was also in the private sector at an advertising agency. I was a PA and loved that very much as well.
Good. And you've been working on full-time for 16 years, yes?
I don't know, I try not to keep count.
16 years. So tell me now, with the lockdown, I think nobody understands that, we've never been, I said before, we've never been an online church per se. And so when lockdown happened, we were stuck in Prague. Catherine was running the church on her own for a few weeks. Nicola had to step it up. Amy had to learn to take over the media. Brandon had to go online for your youth, because Brandon runs our youth on a Friday evening as well. What was that initial thought? If I can ask you that, I'll start there by Catherine maybe. What was the initial thought when the lockdown came? I mean, I think it was for us, Shantelle and myself, it was quite a daunting thing, because all of a sudden, boom, church closed. How are we going to get to the kids? How are we going to get to our Sunday school? How are we going to get to our ladies? How's this all going to happen? And I think it was quite overwhelming feeling when we started.
I think just the unknown.
Yeah.
It kind of, and it did help that you guys were in Prague.
Yeah.
So you were kind of giving us the heads up and feeding us as to what was going to be happening on this side.
Yeah.
So that it was a massive blessing.
Yeah.
I really think
It
that
was.
it's been
Because of God's sake.
Absolutely. Part of our success story is that you were perfectly positioned there to assist us on this side, and not just in church. I just know even for my daughter who's in the restaurant trade, you were able to give feedback on what they were doing in that sector over there. So it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And team. I think if ever we've needed to see team working in this church, it's been this time, the last 3 months. everybody just stepped up. There wasn't falling all over the place. It was easy. The transition was great. We've been stretched and challenged. I took on doing a Zoom Propel Girls meeting. And even that, you would think that, there's no connection over a camera and over a laptop, but there really was. It's been really good. So I think in all areas it's been amazing.
That's good. And I think a lot of people don't realise it's us, and then we still got the steering team of 11 guys. And now we're through the whole process and I honestly say this, did not anybody panic or get into disagreements. This was the most amazing thing about the lockdown. We panicked by ourselves.
When the internet dropped, the panic goes up.
It was a secret. Nobody knew it.
And nobody thought it.
Nicola, I'm going to skip Amy there quickly, but Nicola, you had to all of a sudden become a Terry Novella star on TV. It's like, from sitting around a desk preparing lessons, next minute Auntie Next,
Videos.
On YouTube, videos, teaching online. How did you transition? I mean, how long have you been with us full time now? About a year?
A year.
Yeah. And so you were really chucked in the deep end.
Yes. Also never done a video before, and also just sit there looking at this little red light. It was very daunting.
It was.
But I think when you know who you're speaking to, your audience, and you want to connect, and you have already connected with them, but just to reconnect, even if it is over a screen, it just comes.
But you guys, you've done really well in keeping the Sunday school together. Now they get their work and they get their lessons sent out, and even Brandon, sends the youth their videos and their online stuff. Have you found a lot of kids doing their Sunday lessons?
I have had, in the beginning, I wasn't getting much feedback, but I think the more people get used to communicating with you online via WhatsApp, also sending voice notes to the kids and receiving voice notes from the kids has been amazing. So we've had, the interaction is very encouraging to know that people are actually doing, participating, And the other thing is also, we didn't have a break. So from the week they were here, the next week we were online. There was no okay, well, let's try and get this thing together. It just sort of flowed,
it happened.
So there wasn't a break where the kids had a chance to disconnect. It was from coming to church the very next Sunday we were online. So there was, it's nice that it's been continued.
I think it was nice for the kids as well, because the kids they were so unsure when they immediately went into lockdown, how's the youth going to have, how's kids church? And we were able to jump straight onto them. They got videos immediately saying, this is what we
That first Sunday.
That first Sunday, guys, relax, we've got this, it sort of prepped them for when they went to school, when they had to go online to school, which is nice.
It was really awesome. You guys did so well.
And we listened to a lot of your little voice notes you get from the kids.
Yes.
I mean, some of them are like 3-4 years old.
Yes.
And they said what the next voice notes telling them what's happening in their lives. That's been really quite encouraging.
And also what I started doing was on their birthdays, sending them a little birthday video, me singing happy birthday, or whatever, just to...
A woman of many talents.
to keep the connection.
Yeah.
And now even when they came to fetch their Father's Day packs on Saturday, you can see there's already, the relationship is there. It's not like it's because I've been speaking to them on the phone.
Yeah. And one thing I did notice about Saturday, and I know we originally planned that the parents would just drive through, we'd hand the gifts to them, but we just realized the kids are the ones that are really missing the one-on-one. I mean, the kids actually just can't help themselves but run up and hug you, And I know it's got the social distancing, but when you see a kid that hasn't seen you for 3 months and she climbs out the car, leaps over the white picket fence and starts running straight towards you, and through the mask you can see the smile, and you're going to get out. It's become so difficult. And I think especially for us as a church, because we're a very family-oriented church, we're a very loving, huggy, kissy kind of church that's just always been, and I think our kids have always grown up with that. Brandon, you guys with the youth, how have you guys coped through the whole process? I mean, you guys, like same thing, at youth on Friday night, and the next Friday night, there was nothing.
I think we jumped straight onto it as well. We made videos also. I watch a lot of YouTube, so I try to do what those guys do, try and be as funny as you can be, but as natural as you can be, to keep the kids relaxed. And it worked for the first couple of times. The first couple of weeks it was a lot of videos of myself, and then we found that they got bored and they sort of, the numbers, if you want to put it that way, dipped. So we went with other videos, YouTube videos and stuff, and it was nice because they could then watch somebody else and then we can chat on WhatsApp.
Yes.
So it's a lot of, I mean, if you ask anybody, it's like 500 messages. If you miss your phone on a Friday night, between 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock, when you get back to it, there's like 500, literally 500 messages.
Oh, that's fantastic.
As they talk up and down, and you know, the numbers come and go. It's 5 kids one week, and then 20 kids talking next week. And so it's been good, but I also found the same thing. I found when we had visits the last 2 weeks, when we visited the kids, I mean, you want to social distance, and you were lucky that the deal was we'll pop in for 2 minutes, we'll stand at the gate, but it didn't work that way.
Yeah.
They just want to, they cry after them when they see you. Because they haven't seen you, and they all want to know when they're going to go back to youth, and when can we see each other and have connection. So
and the stuff is what it is, though. It's a real good thing when the kids miss us that much.
Oh yes.
I think because Nick said it the same thing. You know, there's this there's the connect, and when they connect with you, they just don't want to connect with you on a Facebook or a video. They want to see it, they want to touch, and they want to see that how things are going. So then Amy and Jessica started doing our media online. Obviously, we were in Prague. I was meant to minister at Destiny Prague Church, and Saturday we were told that we're not going to meet, so we had to do our first online within 24 hours. So that was a scary thought, and then Jessica was running and Don were running most of our live streams from Prague, and then Amy had to step in, and at the moment Amy does all the putting together of the stuff, and then Mr. Brandon Parker, he's the guy that actually sits behind the laptop and whatever, having streaming. Amy's the one that's giving comments. You guys have never done this. Alright,
that's the stress level from earlier on. That's the stress level.
This is where all of the stress comes. Yeah, it was a challenge. I mean, I was supposed to take over kind of doing adverts and doing that.
the normal kind of like boring media stuff of the church, yeah?
You know, it was like, we have a whole new situation here.
Yeah.
You guys are running a live stream. Surprise! Surprise! You know, like there's a pandemic in the world, and it was quite overwhelming at first, I think, for Brandon and I to kind of, you know, fill in and step in. But Jess and Don really just, I think, led the way for us so easily. And the transition for us, I think, was also much smoother than expected.
Yeah.
And it's quite a lot of work, but it's really enjoyable most times. So
I was speaking to a couple of pastors last week, and they were saying that their media staff at the moment are the hardest working people in the church at the moment. And I'm saying this with tongue in cheek because I think everyone went to lockdown, and we had to step it up. I mean, we had to reinvent Sunday school, we had to reinvent church, we had to reinvent media, the women's ministry, we had to reinvent working from online. Kathy and myself, we had to have our meetings on. So what does the week look like on a phone? You know, trying to arrange what is happening around us. What has been for you, Kathy, the most challenging part of the last 3 months of online church or working from home? You love working from home, so.
That's a tough question because, like a lot of people say, it's been so tough. Really, it's just been an amazing
journey.
Pause. It's really been a supernatural pause.
Yeah.
So I think that probably the communication and just being able to sit like this, like we would sit and have our Monday morning meeting and be able to look at one another and kind of like banter and comment and work things out. Now all of a sudden you're isolated and you can still talk, but you're not connecting as well probably.
Yeah.
But again, I just see how God's positioned Oasis. I mean, there's so much relationship that I might not have necessarily spoken to you for an entire month, and yet you would pick up exactly where you were as if you were seeing each other yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to lie, so there were too many challenges. It's been an amazing time.
Yeah.
I think it's now being able to, the challenge for me is actually now, is taking what we've been given, because it's been so rich. I mean, God has really, for me, I just think there's such a deposit that was made in this pause, and now it's to take that and steward it into the now. So that for me is to do that well, because we can rush back in, which a lot of people, we said it right from the beginning, you're either going to come through this completely changed or completely the same, stay the same. And all we're wanting and dreaming is change. So we've got to know then how to transition it. And
it's easy for us because we weren't just thinking outside the box the last 4 months, we were living outside the box. I mean, we had gone to territory we had never in our lives journeyed. But Shantelle, I want to ask you this question. You've been quite clear, Shantelle. bears the brunt of the stress there, comes here, and then my sounding board goes this way, so what you guys encounter comes to me, times by 5, goes back to Shantelle again. How easy is it for Shantelle for us to get back to our old box again, to get back to our old ways?
Like we were saying the other evening, what is the new normal?
Yeah.
And quite frankly, if I look at this whole thing we've endured, I think we've learned time management better.
Yeah.
And we've learned to be more productive, and we've learned how to rest. Because you've had the opportunity to work because you've had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So you've literally been proactive during this time. And now it's a matter of going into the new normal. And the reality is, it's not going to be the same.
No.
So quite frankly, I'm kind of enjoying this vibe where it's still very flexible. We're still able to mobile work, if I can put it that way. It's actually wonderful to know that our office could be anywhere now.
Yeah.
That's what's encouraged me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time, maybe we spend too much time doing stuff where we could be being a lot more proactive.
Yeah.
And now we have that flexibility where I can be anywhere and I can still be here. And that's the nicest part too.
That is.
The only thing I'm really been struggling with is the fact that as a pastor, when it comes to you and your recordings, is the fact that every time you get it wrong, you shout my name. It's just, I thought this would be a perfect time to bring this up. So like he says, the stress, he goes through you, and then it bounces off me, and then he does a video and it bounces a couple of times off me. So that whole thing has been a whole new normal for me.
Yeah. Where's the...
Every time the truck goes by, is that
Yeah.
Every time the truck goes past the recording, it's like, Shantelle, and Joshua goes by there and said to me, why would you say mom? It's like, not her fault.
Where is she? She's in her room.
Yeah, she's like, why is in the room when we try to record? The recording has been on. I'm being honest with you guys.
You guys don't understand. Kurt does up to 5 to 6 pre-starts. And every so many say, morning Oasis, and then it's dead quiet. Morning Oasis, and then it's dead quiet. It is, listen, but the new normal is fun.
I think that's what people don't know. They don't know what goes into this. They don't know that
it's not a 45-minute thing.
It's not 5 minutes. It's not. It's also not. It's what camera we're using. We're using yourself, and
Yes.
how we're transporting
Yes.
the video to someone to be
Yes.
edited.
Yeah.
To come back to me. That's where the stress level comes in.
Yeah. Now let me explain to you quickly while you're sitting here. So we had normal ADSL at home, and we thought, this is not going to happen to us in our lifetime. So, for example, if I record a 30-minute sermon, Shantelle then takes a sermon out of the camera, out of the memory card, puts it onto her computer. She then edits the front and the back, and she skips all the 5 attempts and the dogs and the cars and the Hardy cars coming across. She then puts it together, and then she sends it to Amy. All right. Now, through the air. The thing was, with normal ADSL, that 25 to 35-minute video would take 6.5 hours to get to Amy Faith. So you can understand, so if we had a busy week like we've had, feeding hundreds and hundreds of people,
Or we've had a bad day.
or a bad day, and I only get to my recording on a Saturday, and eventually by 3 o'clock, on a Saturday afternoon, I'm going to now stop recording, and I would have sent to Amy. Amy and Brandon are getting that video at 9, 10 o'clock at
Okay,
night.
it's worse because it goes to Amy. She edits it, then it
Yes.
takes 2-3 hours to get to me
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Because I live in the bush.
Well, it's going to go. It's going to get to the cloud, and then I'm going to take it off the cloud.
Yeah. So there's a whole lot of clouding involved.
Yeah.
But I must say, one thing we've learned that somebody introduced us to fiber, and now a 45-minute video takes 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So, it has improved, and it has, but it's been stressful. It really has been an incredible time. In the same breath, I've seen so many people grow, and I'm not speaking in general, I'm speaking about you guys, in your maturity. I think people often see me as, I'm a senior pastor, and I'm good in the church is doing well, and you know what, just a great service and a great sermon, but they don't realize how much goes into the admin side of stuff, Kathy. We still have to run our finances, we still have to run the books, we still have to make sure that those things are up to date, that we were lining up with our budget, that income was coming in, that people are getting paid, that our staff that were unable to work, that they were able to get paid. And then onto that, then I still loaded you with the food parcels. Yeah, for a season, I think we packed probably 400-500 food parcels in the 2 months that we've been doing this. But you found that quite rewarding, though.
Very much so. Very much so. I think it's a bit of a twofold thing there. With the beginning of anything, with the start of everything, everyone's enthusiastic. That only lasts a week or two.
Yeah.
And then you start to see where it's really going to fall onto. And it was amazing because it needed to be started, but it's kind of become a norm for us, and it's the church.
Yeah.
And the cry throughout the world has been that the church would take a place again.
Yeah.
So as much as community might have started it, it's been given back to the church. So that's a blessing.
Yeah.
And just being able to see literally, I mean, there were days that we would really laugh because there would be so little, and all of a sudden you would see a packet come in, and we would send out parcels. I mean, there's been times where we could maybe send out maize meal and rice and oil, but then there's been times where we've literally sent out, like we would go and do our monthly grocery shop, and it just keeps going.
And we get people lamb. I mean, we sent this butchery, sponsored us a whole lamb that was cut up, and it was the most amazing to give people your samp and beans, and Jared gave us wors and mince, so just to give them a pack of chops.
And the Nevotes also.
They were incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Nevotes helped us.
The Nevotes just gave
that was wild.
tons.
Melody and
Tielman.
Yes.
I mean, there was just tons of food coming. I mean, David dropped off one day, what was it, 250 kilograms, sweet potatoes,
and you know, things that some people would go like, oh, well, that doesn't really look like much, but when you start putting it all together, we actually get to see the end product. And we get to see the faces, and there was ministry time even in that. I mean, like people popping in and collecting, and what would be almost like something to feel embarrassed about, you're actually able to, a lot of it actually depends on our heart in giving it.
Yeah.
Because if we're giving it like, this is a bit of a handout, then I'm feeding your shame.
Yes.
Correct.
But when I'm giving it out of like, this is out of my dad's storehouse, you get the blessing.
Yeah.
Amen.
So there is nothing that we can do where we can't remove God. I mean, he's moved through absolutely everything. It's been good.
And I think we've even with the food parcels, and even with the kiddies ministry, and even with the youth and the media and that kind of stuff, the church has really very much gone from a comfortable place to very, very much an evangelical kind of new thing that is happening. And we were speaking about it before, and I think Shantelle and myself were saying, we don't want to end the food parcels because lockdown's finished. In the sense of that's what the church should do. We don't want to stop praying for the lost. We don't want to stop, leading those to Christ that are struggling. We don't want our kids to fall by the wayside now because all of a sudden lockdown is finished. I think we want to improve on where we are and what it is that God has put in our hearts. But Brandon, I want to ask you a question. You're the rose amongst the thorns, you have to think. The future, 2020. I mean, you're part of a school. And so we've watched. So it's been a start, grade 12, grade 7s. I think next week we'll probably catch a little bit more. But I mean, what does the future look like for us? And for you, and for Oasis, and for youth? And
I think,
is there hope that you carry in you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot more, if I look at our centre, and remedial centres, so special needs education, which going online has been very difficult because our connection is one-on-one.
Correct.
It's easy to take the pressure off a child when I'm the one who's not putting the pressure on. But unfortunately, when they're home and mom and dad are struggling with maths or whatever the subject might be, the pressure's there.
Yeah.
So we've struggled a bit, but we have launched into this online system, which is working so well now.
Yeah.
So I think the future is both. It's merging both.
Correct.
We can't wait. I mean, I get asked every time I see a youth member, when is youth going to happen again?
Yeah.
Nicola and I said today, kids can come, when they come back to church, are we going to have youth? How are we going to do that? I think we're going to do that. As soon as we can get them back in the building, we're going to get them in the building.
Yeah.
But we're not going to lose the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
We're not going to lose the videos. We're not going to lose the stuff that's been great for them to go back on. They can go on Saturday and watch it. They can now go. Hopefully by the end of this year, we would have gone through the whole Bible with our kids, from basic Bible stories, Old Testament through to Jesus and Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The end of this year, they're going to have gone through the Bible. They can go anytime and go watch those videos. Anytime they've got an issue, they can go and look what
Correct.
this person, David had this issue, so you know what I mean. Whereas one-on-one, they remember it, but they don't remember it for a while. Next week they remember the next game. So I think it's merging the two going forward. It's being able to have cameras and whatever, and not to be awkward like it might be, you know.
Yeah.
But be able to also have them one-on-one and face-to-face and become part of that system and moving forward, whether they're able to share online themselves.
Yeah.
Because I think that's, you know, I joke with my leaders, I'm meeting my leaders tomorrow night, well, it'll be last night for you guys, but, you know, we're building a church. Just because they go forward doesn't mean we're not building a church.
Correct.
That's a church. That's a future generation of people that are going to be sitting in. So, are they going to feed people? I tell them all the time, the church is feeding people, guys. So, and bring clothes, whatever, so that they can be part of what they take their church into the future. Yeah, into the big vision. So, yeah.
God very much trusts us, and I mean, you guys aren't in any way old, but we did find ourselves technologically challenged, or, you know, delayed compared to a lot. And the nice thing about it is that kids adapt so quickly though. I mean, we still struggle with it, but they adapt so quickly
I
to...
think it bridged the gap between the disconnect between them and us. Like, we would have a look and go, if we're dealing with parents who are battling with children in communication, and we go, yeah, but they're always on their phones. Whereas now it's a case of we've always on our phone. We don't go anywhere without our phone.
Correct.
So we've got to be careful that we practice what we preach. But now we can understand to a greater degree. And for them, it's so easy to just like pick up, and like Hendrik's been doing his YouTube and stuff like that. And it's like, it's just it's so easy. I mean, the first time you asked me to do the video, it like legit took me an entire day. And it was like probably the hottest day of the year. It was really intense. But then the second time it was a little bit easier because it was like, okay, well, get over yourself. You know, it's actually the world is doing it. The world is doing it. It's like you watch people that are on their walk and they're just on Instagram just doing a video and it's just live. So that's normal for the kids. So if anything, it's been able to bring us closer to them to go, this gap has been bridged. And now we're almost like, we're not that old anymore. We're not that out there. We're actually a little bit more user-friendly.
Our kids are actually impressed with how much we know about technology and how much we've taught ourselves over the last week. But I just think it's been a nice season because I think because we've had to learn so much and it's been a difficult thing for us and the kids have learned so quickly, it's going to almost be easy for them to leapfrog us into, and you will look at that saying, you know, we want our kids' ceiling to be, how do you go, our ceiling must be their platform. You know, they've got to go higher than us. You know, and I think with the technology and actually getting this understanding amongst all of us all of a sudden, it's helped us, especially going forward. For the Sunday school, what we're thinking, I know the kids are desperate to get, I think there's two things. I think the kids are desperate to see Fisco finished. Because I think that's just our family dream. That's our, you know, the kids, whenever we go to Fisco, you know, it's, you know, the little donkeys out there and whatever, and the kids, they want that space. I think in urban society we don't, and I think this is why when we dream Fisco, we dream family, we dream farm, we dream space. You know, let's just enjoy ourselves. And I think a lot of kids are desperate to see Fisco happen, which is obviously put on a lag now. But what do you think? Because your teachers have really done well.
Yes.
And we've got to compliment them. And Brandon, your leaders have been phenomenal. I have watched a couple of your leaders put out some videos that, wow, it was like, these guys need to stop preaching. You know, these guys really have a gifting. And that's what I'm asking, because so many hidden talents and gifts have been exposed. Activated. Maybe that's the word, activated. I said to Andy Johnson yesterday, I said, as frustrated as what I am with having 50 people in the service, maybe there's a reason why God wants us to be 50 in the service. Because we've seen people share or be more so relaxed in a meeting of, you know, instead of having 600 people in the building, now we only got 50, and all of a sudden you see the prophetic being released from someone that you never thought was going to say a word in church. Somebody give a scripture that you never thought would even bring up a scripture.
They're not hiding in the numbers anymore.
Not hiding in the crowd. No, it's like we're not in the crowd anymore. It's like God has like really catapulted a lot of good, strong, powerful, dynamic leaders. And I'll tell you one thing, I watched the older generation, you know, like myself. Those are fighting for position, Because the youngsters are, you know, it's not a thing of, we say, my house, my rules, kind of a thing. And all of a sudden, we can't say that anymore because our kids are just like flying past us in how they are and what they are. So even for Sunday school, it's going to be an interesting thing. Do we keep it going a little bit online? But I think for you, the kids want to get together. That is it.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, you've got the different dynamic when there's a group of kids.
Yes.
So when they come and they've got God in common,
Yeah.
it catapults, you know. And also, the nice thing about having lockdown and having the online is that you brought the parents and the kids together.
Correct.
I've noticed even with heading up the children's ministry, I don't have that fellowship with my kids.
Yes.
They come to kids church on a Sunday, they do the lesson, great, they go to school, they get taught there.
Correct.
But it's actually brought the parents and the kids. It's almost like you've got that, not position of authority, but you've taken charge of your kids'
Yes.
education and their spiritual walk.
It's so true.
Whereas it's not, you're not leaving it up to the kids' church leaders or up to Brandon or someone to actually shepherd your kids, because you're in that position to have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
And to see how they've grown. I mean, my kids in this lockdown have grown spiritually.
Yeah.
They would never have had it in a year or 2 years of coming to youth on a Sunday night, because it's in their home. They've been challenged to read the Bible and to make videos. I mean, my first video, okay, besides this one, but the Mother's Day one, it took me forever to do because you'd make a mistake. Then, Mum, I've seen my video to Brandon, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And it was like a matter of 30 seconds. They've Googled the verse, they've actually done it, they've read it, they've spoken about it, they've explained the understanding, and it's gone off to Brandon.
And they're creative as well.
Yeah.
Throwing leaves, and it's a silly thing, but it makes such a big difference in the video, what they're sharing. So yeah.
And that's my youngest shy child.
Yeah, yeah. But this is what I've loved. I've seen people grow in their confidence, and especially our kids and the media. And I know, Kathy, you've been running a Propel course online during this time.
I have been blown away. I'm not going to mention her name, but we have got some seriously persevering hearts that, like, it was a struggle to get on, and eventually it was a case of, like, they're there.
Yeah.
And we've overcome obstacles of being able to get online.
Yeah.
And even there have been a couple of girls who we wouldn't ordinarily, when we're 300 people on a Sunday morning, connect.
Yeah.
And within 2 weeks, they were like, wow, we've actually been able to talk. And I think one of the things with slowing down is we've been able to be intentional.
Yes.
So when you're sitting in a room, it's easy to get distracted.
Yes.
Whereas when you're sitting and you're staring at a screen, I'm looking at you, and if I can, and it's a choice that we make though. If we choose to listen to what the Holy Spirit is saying to us, it's like, what is He wanting to release right now? So we've had amazing ministry. One of the moms, so when us girls get together, it's almost like our selfish time.
Yeah.
But being in your home, some of the kids have walked in and out of the meetings, and it's been amazing because it hasn't been disruptive in any way, shape or form. And the one little girl, she'd been battling with fear, and I was praying over one of the ladies against the fear, and this little girl came and stood alongside of her mom, not knowing, and she just stood there. And the mom said she almost like received ministry just from the fact that we were having this conversation.
Correct.
You know? So yeah, what the enemy means for evil,
Yeah,
God
God
is
is
doing
for
for
good.
good. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, Shantelle heads up our counselling side of stuff. So you very much had to deal with much of the bad side of lockdown. You know, you've had to deal with angry wives and angry kids and angry marriages and angry husbands, and you've journeyed it well. And it's been a challenge because it's not like we can counsel like this anymore. It's now over a WhatsApp call or over a Zoom call or whatever it might be. How challenging was that to counsel right through this? I mean, I'm your husband, so I know how often your phone rings and how often people are complaining and just like spilling their guts to you. How did you cope with the fear of lockdown, the fear of COVID, the fear of having your kids and your grandkids overseas, and they're still dealing with so much that was happening around? I mean, I know it's God's wisdom and it's the Holy Spirit, but you want to share a thought on that?
got 6 dogs, guys. It's the thing is, once again, like we all saying, it was a matter of communicating effectively.
Yeah.
It was, if you're going to send a WhatsApp in response, choose your words wisely. God help me say the right things. Because I must be honest with you, social media communication can be very deceiving and very confusing, and the wrong things can come through which weren't the intentions. So it's a matter of being very wise and using choice words, and also just encouraging people to step back and breathe.
Yeah.
You know, because unfortunately everything was a mountain during that horrible time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was a matter of choosing words wisely, teaching them to breathe, and if anything, try and be friends through the process rather than kill each other and keep score. So,
It was interesting. And I think we were all challenged. In all our relationships, we were challenged. In our friendships, our friendships we were challenged. Work-wise, we were challenged. But I also want to say, you guys, thanks. You guys are really, I don't think you guys know how much work our league is put in here. I think we've still got this mindset in society that we work an hour on a Sunday, and that the accounting bills just sort themselves out, and the finances just come from heaven, and God just does a deposit, and Amy just wakes up and pushes record, and everything works. It's like the world's got this idea that the church is not this thing that runs, but they don't understand that we're a family. And so family is constantly taking care of family. I said it yesterday, I said, my definition of a hero is someone that's prepared to give up everything to make sure that other people are better off than what they are. And for me, you guys have been heroes through the season. You guys have put so much work in, so much effort, long hours. I know I had Amy awake at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to get videos ready for a Sunday morning. I have apologized to her husband. It's been a real tough season. But I must say, it has definitely brought us closer together. And I just want to say this, that I can't recall once in the last 3 months where there was even a disagreement. It's like somehow when we decided to do something, it's like everything fell into place, except the Father's Day gifts that the mothers complained that they didn't get their Mother's Day. But we did promise the Mother's Day, whatever Mother's Day service.
we're going to have a Mother's Day extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
Watch the space.
Watch the space.
Watch the space.
Yeah. Any closing words? Kathy, let me start by you. Any closing words of encouragement? Just 2 minutes there. What do you think God is saying? I'll just go around the room.
I just think we're in for the most exciting time in church history. I really do. But I think that we have to be responsible.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, whatever God has given us, we've got to steward it well. And we can sit and we've all been able to, you said something earlier about the kids overtaking us. And for me, there's really been, where Jesus says, like in my Father's house, there are many rooms. It's not that we're needing to get up from the table and move.
No.
We actually start making room at the table for all of those.
Correct.
Because a generation is a move of people. So young and old, it's like there is room at the table.
Yeah.
And we get to journey together and have fun together. And I think being able to enjoy diversity and not be intimidated or jealous of whatever anybody else is carrying, because what God has given each of us is for a reason.
And it's unique.
So it's unique.
And I think that's the thing that I've discovered, all of you guys. You each carry a unique way of seeing things, a way of understanding things, a unique way of arguing, a unique way of working through issues. And I think those differences have complemented us more than destroyed us at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Amy, any closing words from you?
Just to love one another.
Yeah.
I think we so easily take that for granted, and I had what I call the love revelation during lockdown, in understanding that there is so much craziness in this world, but if we can just learn to love one another and appreciate one another, that's what God calls us to do, above all else.
And keep on keeping on. I think we chatted about this before, how not everyone is excited to wake up at 9 o'clock and listen to an online service anymore. Because people are just tired of cameras, people are tired of DVDs or videos or Netflix or even online church, or worldwide we see the numbers dropping, not because people have lost interest, it's people that realize that they don't have to watch at 9 o'clock, they can watch it at 10, and it's winter coming, but people are tired of, they're missing the interaction. and almost like the camera gets too much for them at times, so it's something that you guys have to journey. Next, any closing words from you, and just a word of encouragement?
Yeah, just that God is in control. Hey?
Yeah.
And that through this whole thing, we've seen time and time again how God just has guided us and shown us which way to go, given us the direction we need. Yeah.
And we've had to make the right calls.
Yeah.
There wasn't even a choice of whether it's a good or bad thing. We had to make the right choice, you know. Brayden, from your side.
I think what has been so surprising, but so encouraging is that the church steps up.
Yeah.
Don't think that the devil can throw anything at the church. Don't think that any change that happens in the world is going to stop us.
Yeah.
You know, we ended up with different cameras, cell phones, or whatever. We did whatever it took. You know, laptops that weren't quite working, but we stepped up.
Yeah.
Not just us, across the world. I think the church has stepped up, and as Kathy said, they've been given, or they've been asked to be back in front of things. You know, feed people, do these things, share encouragement. You know.
Yeah.
So don't think for 1 second that the church is sitting in a back room somewhere, waiting for Jesus to come and change it.
Yeah.
We are here and we're doing our thing.
Yeah.
So.
Been very good. Shanti, any last words from you?
Put it this way, everything in the last couple of months has been an adventure. So ultimately, at the end of the day, what is your new normal? And it's not going to be anything that you won't be able to handle. I believe Father knows exactly what He's doing. So just pace yourself, and I also think a key word is patience. Be a little patient, be a little more gracious, because we don't know what the person's going through that we're speaking to, ministering to, or assisting or feeding. So, like Kat says, let's be kind. Let's love furiously and love with everything we have. And just know that God's got this, literally. God's got this. But
Good. Well, thanks. Just on behalf of myself and the leadership, just thank you guys for the last couple of months. I don't think it's over yet, but it can only get better. You know, I think we're doing well. But you guys have done a lot of effort, a lot of hours, and thanks for all the work. And I know your families are quiet sometimes, and you guys have to work late and all this kind of stuff. But we really do appreciate everything that you guys have done and still doing. And I'm just really encouraged that your capacity is so enlarged. You know, I think Amanda said something last week with the interview to Andrew. She said that when they got married, Andrew gave her a voice. And I think there's one thing about COVID that I can say, that COVID gave the church a voice.
Yes.
Whether we like it or not, we've got a bigger voice now than we've ever had. But again, that word that God gave us last year in October, wisdom and discernment. Wisdom and discernment. And God nailed those words home the whole of last year. Have wisdom, have discernment in every decision you make. And that's going to be what we need to do going forward. And I trust that we'll go back to normal one of these days. But
new normal, not
the new normal. But thanks, we appreciate it, we love you guys, and we want to respect you guys for what you guys have done. And keep on keeping on. But thank you, and we just encourage you guys just to remember to book this Sunday. We're 8:30, like I said, our live stream will go out at 9 o'clock again. But then we have a 10:30 service. The 10:30 service, you are able to bring your kids along, but you have to book with Shantelle if you're going to bring your kids along again.
It's a different cell number.
It's a different cell number. It's not Chantelle's personal cell number, no. Yeah. But if you want to have your kids to come with, you can book with Shantelle, but we do need their details as well. All right. So bless you guys. Love you. Have a great week. See you Sunday, 9 o'clock. Cheers.